As we gear up for the New Year's celebrations of 2026, especially here in New York City, the Big Apple is bracing for another major change. Mayor Eric Adams exits and self-proclaimed Democratic Socialist Zohran Mamdani is sworn in at the stroke of midnight.
And as the clock ticks toward the Mamdani administration, he's making another highly controversial pick to join his team. Introducing Razi Qassem, a defense attorney who previously represented an al-Qaeda terrorist. He's being tapped for the position of chief counsel, Mamdani's top legal advisor.
And he's not the only pick drawing scrutiny. Mamdani already selected a convicted felon, and he has also brought in Lillian Bonsignori as the fire commissioner, despite the fact that they were never a firefighter.
She was never a firefighter.
No. And finally, last week, the incoming mayor gave his first political endorsement for Aber Kawas. She's running for a New York Assembly seat in Queens, candidate who years ago blamed America for 9/11.
The system of capitalism and racism and white supremacy, etc., have all, and Islamophobia have all been used, to colonize lands, right, to take resources from other people. And so this is like a long trajectory, and we're just seeing the manifestations of that continuation, right, with 9/11.
Okay, joining us now to talk about that, pop culture political commentator Adrienne Grain alongside political commentator Alexandra Bougher. Did anyone just hear Aber Kawas? She just blamed America for 9/11. You're sitting here shaking your head no. That was my first reaction. So I think we fully know what kind of people he's going to endorse. He's going to put into his administration. People who defended al-Qaeda. Seems pretty obvious to me.
Unfortunately, this is sort of the temperature that we're feeling, especially with young women. I mean, if you look at young women in their late teens to early 20s, they are pushing for something in America. They have absolutely no idea what kind of freedoms they have. You know, their heads are uncovered. They can wear what they want. They can say what they want. And yet they're defending countries that you're not allowed to do that. So they're completely out of touch. And they want this here. You know, hey, go over there and live there for a few
if you
years.
want Sharia law, go live under it.
Go live over there. This is America.
Yeah.
We have freedom here.
Yeah, Adrienne, your reaction to these picks?
Yeah, look, guys, from the beginning, it's all theater politics with these guys. You know, they have to have the DEI, the here, the there, the everything bagel. You know, the left salivates over this, and the left-wing media also over these theater politics. They could not wait to write that story, you know, how he's swearing in with the Quran. I mean, this is crazy, you guys. And, you know, we've already seen him dismantle other things like the gifted and talented program, like his ideas on that. And so, you know, for New Yorkers, it makes me sad. You know, I know there's a lot of New Yorkers that did not want this, but there's a lot of New Yorkers that did. And I think, guys, we have to install a rule here that you can't leave the city that you voted this guy in. You've got to stick it out. And hopefully, you know, unfortunately, I hope it does kind of go bad and help deliver us the midterms and then ultimately help us put Vance in 2028.
Alexander, to your point, I'm not so sure that people understand what exactly they voted for. I think the free stuff, all right, that was part of it. You know, we're going to affordability. He ran on that. But now you see like this I can't get my head around the Kawas endorsement. She's blaming America for 9/11. This is anti-Western, anti-American sentiment.
Correct. Well, I mean, most of us were around for 9/11, right? And I remember the day after and how America felt and how we said we would never forget. In fact, that's what we would say all the time. We will never forget. And apparently America has forgotten. And I think we know if they're giving away something really cheap or free, it's maybe not the best. You know, the COVID days, free donuts, get your shot, free donuts.
How'd that go in Minnesota lately? Free stuff?
In Minnesota as well.
So good.
So, I mean, I think we just need to really maybe go back and have a history lesson here.
They don't teach it anymore.
They don't
teach it in school anymore.
You know, they don't teach, you know, history.
I wonder, though, because, you know, he won pretty easily. And, Adrienne, I look at the videos that we see, and, you know, he's smiling and he's glad and, you know, handing everybody. And he looks like a really nice, you know, Metro guy. And I kind of wonder if social media was such a huge, you know, factor behind pushing a candidate, and that, to your point, Alexandra, people really are clueless about what they really voted for.
They look
Absolutely,
at TikTok for answers.
great point.
Yeah.
The social media influence here was astronomical, and you guys just talked about at the glass table there. You know, the Gen Z women voting for him. Look, we've seen what's been happening, the splintering of Gen Z women and Gen Z men. And for me, I feel like what I'm seeing trending is these Gen Z women are chronically online and they want to be influencers, and they're seeing all this free stuff, and they're really locked in there, where the Gen Z men are going all the way to the right. So you see this sort of tension where they're not meeting in the middle, and they're going in far different directions. I think we really need to focus on women, and we really need to show them, look, these promises that they're making are not going to be happening.
Well, we've got a number of years now to talk about this, sadly.
Couple hours. We're gonna
Adrienne
get our first
and
taste.
Alexandra, thank you both for joining us.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.